For centuries, the prophecies from the Oracle of Delphi could literally make or break entire empires. But what if all that divine wisdom wasn't coming from a god at all, but from gas seeping out of the earth? Let's peel back the layers of myth and dig into the science behind the most powerful voice in the ancient world.
So, what was really going on here? I mean, for the ancient Greeks, the answer was simple, right? It was the god Apollo speaking through a priestess. But science gives us a totally different way to look at it. Instead of asking who was speaking, we can start asking what was happening on a physical, chemical level to make these prophecies happen.
To really get to the bottom of this, we have to look at the priestess herself, the Pythia. Ancient writers like Plutarch described her in this state of divine madness, her body completely transformed, looking like she was possessed by something otherworldly. So the question is, was this actual divine possession, or was there another explanation entirely?
Okay, so our first clue isn't up in the heavens, it's deep within the earth itself. We've got to go below the temple floor into a secret chamber that, it turns out, held the key to this whole operation.
This hidden room was called the Adaton, which literally means inaccessible, and they meant it. Only the Pythia was allowed inside. And she would sit on a tripod positioned directly over these cracks in the temple floor. And that specific spot, right over those fissures, that's the absolute key to this entire mystery.
And this is where the geology gets really fascinating. Turns out the entire temple at Delphi was built right on top of two intersecting fault lines. Geologists discovered that the limestone bedrock under that sacred chamber was all fractured, creating a direct pathway from deep inside the earth right up to where the Pythia was sitting.
So what was coming out of those cracks? It wasn't the spirit of a god, it was something geological. Volcanic gases. Now, this wouldn't have been some dramatic eruption, more like a slow, steady seep, almost invisible, but as we're about to see, incredibly potent.
So what kind of gases are we talking about? Well, scientists found evidence of two, methane and ethylene. But the real star of the show here was ethylene. It has this sweet smell and, most importantly, it's a psychotropic gas. That means it directly messes with your brain. In small doses, it can cause euphoria, confusion, even out-of-body sensations. Starting to sound a little familiar, isn't it?
So, we've got the geology down. Now let's connect that to the biology. How exactly did these gases from deep in the earth actually affect the priestess's brain? It's time to reconstruct the Pythia's trance.
Scientists actually have a term for what the Pythia was experiencing. A mantic trance. This isn't divine possession. It's a very specific kind of altered consciousness, and it was brought on by inhaling neurotoxic stuff. Basically, it was a predictable, repeatable chemical reaction.
When you break it down, the process is remarkably clear. Step 1. The Pythia breathes in the ethylene gas. Step 2. That gas hits her brain, triggering that euphoric, trance-like state. And Step 3. In this altered, disoriented state, she starts uttering these rambling, cryptic phrases that the temple priests would then shape into those world-changing prophecies.
Okay, so now we can bring all these pieces together. And this isn't a story of science just debunking religion. It's really a story of how science reveals the physical mechanics behind what was, for them, a profound spiritual experience.
The power of the oracle was really a perfect storm. You had the hard science, the geology creating a psychoactive gas, and it was fused with the powerful belief of a society that was absolutely certain they were hearing a god speak. You really needed both for the magic to work.
And here's the crucial point. The prophecies were a direct bridge between the movements of tectonic plates deep in the earth and the words people believed were coming from the gods. The voice of the earth literally became the voice of the divine.
And what's just amazing is that today we no longer have to just imagine what this was like. Using all the geological and the neurochemical data we have, researchers are now using AI to create these incredible visual models, simulations of what this gas-induced vision might have actually looked and felt like from inside the Pythia's mind.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty fascinating thought. The explanation for the most powerful oracle in history was literally right under her feet the whole time. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other ancient mysteries, divine miracles, and sacred visions have perfectly rational, scientific answers just waiting to be unearthed?